The truth is indeed.
The glorious return. Wait, what is this, like our sixth glory? It always comes during the Eastern Conference Finals, I think. I guess this is technically anniversary time. Right?
I mean, actually,
Something like
it was, it was June, actually,
Right.
now I think about it,
Right?
well, I mean, I guess, happy early anniversary with that. This would be, officially, 2 years, 3 years?
Two in this realm.
I mean, it's four altogether.
So like, and then 3-ish when we had like the equipment to really start.
Yeah, that's
recording.
what I mean. Yeah.
And then 2, like, since we've just been doing it. That's
Or-
why.
or-
That's why I always remember the Eastern Conference Finals as the
Yeah,
anniversary.
because it was Bucks and Raptors.
Yeah, and that's the first
2019.
episode. That's when we still had the Braun thumbnail
Yes.
with JR.
Yes. Shout out to that one, man. Shout out to that one. That reminds me of a better time.
Got to reincorporate that somehow. Maybe we'll make that the logo. But I like that Stormy is the logo, so it makes sense for her to be the logo for now. For now.
Yes,
Well, we might
yes.
go back. I think that should be hilarious.
I mean, it's again, like, just there aren't too many times that I ironically, I guess these last few weeks, there's another time I kind of feel bad for brother Braun, Hollywood Braunovich.
Never.
That's why I say kind of.
Never.
But no. That night I felt bad for him, son.
Is it too early? Yeah, it's too early to say what I was gonna say in the according to the rules.
No. I mean, again, I only felt bad for him in regards to that that night because I know what it is to be burnt by brother JR. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And at the most key moments.
At the worst fucking moment, son. The worst moment. But, it'd be like that sometimes. And, he was overdue for one. Let's just say that.
Imagine JR came back to the league now that he has the patience that comes with playing golf at a high level or a high-ish level.
A much more refined JR.
More composed.
No. Forget all
serene JR,
No, if that's the case, then that means he's coming back as Earl.
Hey, Earl Smith.
Yeah, he's no longer JR. He's officially Big Earl.
Big Earl, son. Old Uncle Earl, son. There you go, Uncle Earl.
Yeah, man.
Well, welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty. Oh, it's nice to say that again. It's been a while. I almost forgot how to say it. This is the Triple P, the Perfect Plex Podcast. Live, or at least when this is recorded, live from the heart of East Williamsburg, emanating out of the Snake Pit Arena. I was going to say Sneezy W, but it didn't sound right. So the SCW Arena.
Real sneezy, man.
It was real sneezy in here.
Real sleazy.
We are back to do the thing. As I alluded to in that distant YouTube update that you may or may not have seen, we were having technical difficulties, so we just kind of shut it down for a while, even though a bunch of crazy shit was happening, especially the NBA postseason. Once again, I don't know how many times you could say this season is the craziest postseason. I thought the bubble was it. Like I know it can never get crazier than that, but there just seems to be like a big wave, stemming from that.
I mean, look, as opposed to the wave it could have been, it was all right. But again, it was real story driven. So, when that happens, there seems to be drama, and there was drama, but that's sports for you.
I mean, I appreciate that. It's better when it doesn't go by quite by the book, or as we anticipate or analyze or speculate at.
Yeah.
It's nice to be wrong.
Well,
every once in a while.
in some ways, it kind of did go by the book, at least on the West.
I mean, not really. It was a dogfight, and then
in the end, that's what I'm saying. In the end, ultimately, because had one of the lower seeds won. Well, had these finals been kind of like the NCAA tournament where you have like a eighth versus like a 5, then that's totally non-script. Like that's
Well, we're gonna start to see that more and more because of the play-in and how stacked, especially in the West, still after all these years, the end of the season is being separated by like 3 games.
Yeah, and just certain teams getting hot at the right times, but and the other team, you know how it is. Like
this could have been the Wolves like right now if they got shit clicking a little sooner.
Possibly. But no, I mean, look, these playoffs were interesting, but I mean, the best.
That'd be wild, wouldn't it? The Wolves versus the Heat in the finals. Niggas would be so mad right now.
Stephen A. would be mad, son, because he would not want to be in he would not want to be in Minneapolis for the finals right now. For the
finals, son. Especially knowing them, they would take it to Game 7.
Nah, that would be like what was that, the '97 World Series with the Marlins and the Indians.
Jeez.
Where it was like, one game it would be snowing, then the next game and then in Miami it's mad nice.
Niggas is getting sick.
Son, like how you in Minneapolis with the loosey gooseys, and then you in Miami with the mojitos and the cubanos, son. Like I don't know. That's a lot to handle in like a 2-week span. Son. But I don't know. Should be a good finals though. Eastern Conference Finals was almost historical, but
But they choked it away. That moment where they said, where Jason Tatum says to Jaylen Brown, they said you and I couldn't play together. Now they're gonna big that up hard body over the offseason. So.
I mean, no, they've proven that they could. It's just the team is just weird.
Team is weird. Also, they're still getting used to a new coach.
Again.
And
like what? This is the second new coach.
Yeah, and
within a span of what, like 5 years?
5 years.
Because wait, Brad Stevens, he became the not the VP, but
he was the GM, was he not? Or
right,
was he the team president? One of those, and the coach at the same time.
No, he's like whenever he stopped being the coach, that's when he became the GM. So like
I thought it was the other way around. He stopped being GM because they're like, you're wild and you need to concentrate on coaching the team.
No. Like after like that, he pretty much stopped coaching, so he become whatever GM, whatever upper office position he has, and then that's when so I guess that was last season then.
Yeah.
So shit, yeah.
And then Udoka had his run.
Yeah, so they've had 3 coaches within a span of 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Well, all right, 3 seasons. That's all right. Come on, man.
And then in those years, having like major stars like be in and out of the lineup as well. That were supposed to shift the foundation of the team, and then like just didn't for whatever reason.
All right. So in other words, you're blaming Kyrie.
Not entirely. Somewhat, but not entirely. I blame more the front office as usual because they're the one making these kind of weird suspect moves and not shoring up the team in the way they need to be shored, which was on the bench. Like, thankfully, they made the most of what they have, which is great.
Yeah.
And have developed certain people like Time Lord and Derek White, and Malcolm Brogdon gets his chance to shine and shit like that. But they could have did that a lot sooner and made, I feel like, much more savvier deals, especially since they had the upper hand, since they had so many picks to trade at one point.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like, I guess, what was that, like 2018 when they had mad resources, mad money.
People were trying to make deals with them because they wanted those picks.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, well, look, all right.
They didn't do much.
Listen, they've been to, what, 3-4 Eastern Conference Finals. They've been to the finals, so.
And they're a top team consistently.
More or less. Again, they should
despite the turmoil, despite Gordon Hayward not panning out and all these things not working out.
But even within that, they're past that. Once they made it to the finals, I'm
just thinking about like all these things that were supposed to change the team.
Yeah, it could have, but again, like they still made it to the finals despite that. They should be considered a favorite going into next season, but they won't be.
Yeah, probably not.
So I mean, they can't blow it up because their core.
They shouldn't blow it up. They just
No.
They just need to put someone next to the Time Lord and, you know, develop further, because you see what their second unit players gave them in this run.
I mean, they only have Jaylen Brown for one more season if he doesn't choose to re-sign. So
Yeah.
everybody, that, and I think Grant Williams is a restricted free agent, but yeah. Outside of that, their core is already signed. So if you're, like I said, if you're going to move pieces, it's going to have to be for somebody who's proven and truly established, who's really going to shift you out of where y'all need to be, because they're clearly missing something.
Yeah.
They are. You know what I mean?
In the paint mostly, because
I can't even say that. Like, their style of play is what they're missing in the paint, honestly.
Well, that's what it is. Like these guys can't do it alone. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they just lack depth. It's not even that Horford and Rob Williams play bad, or any of their backup dudes. It's just shit. Blake Griffin's there and he barely played. Like,
I wouldn't be playing him anyway, bro. Like,
I know. Again, it just goes back to what we've been talking about lately about roster spots being filled and the suspect ways that they are filled.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're going for a deep postseason run. Why would you waste a playoff slot? At least with Tristan Thompson, he saw floor time and was the coach. You know, was like their cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, them 4 points was affecting shit, man.
That's what I'm saying. He was there. Like he had some kind of impact, as opposed to sitting on the bench taking up money and a roster spot, which could go to someone who is 6 fouls at the very least. You know what I'm saying? Other than whatever else they can bring to the squad in a postseason run. And they have plenty of dudes like that. That's why, the Hachimura thing stands out to me, because like there are a lot of players like that who they just could have been scooped by contenders and we're just not. For some reason. Yeah, but again, like Tristan Thompson was signed and Blake Griffin was signed and all these odd, pickups. Yeah. The only odd pickup that seemed to pan out like that was Kevin Love. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he actually, did shit.
He had an impact.
Again, sometimes you just gotta fill up that spot, man, which sucks, but
Yeah, you gotta put an A body, but hey, at least have a body that can play, son. There's the G League. That this is an old discussion we've had. Like,
it would make sense, but
something like someone who actually gives you a chance to win. Like, that's all.
I mean, look, all right. If you sign somebody like that and they're like great locker room dudes and they help set the tone, all right, so
then great. There's a reason Udonis Haslam's still there. There's a reason that they're. I'm not saying those guys are useless, but there's just certain guys that, why are you still in the league, bro? Like, move on to coaching then if you're such a great locker room presence. Like, or move on to your post-basketball career. Like, if ball is life for you, you should have no problem finding a position.
I mean, a lot of them.
Instead of, again, eating up a roster spot. That many dudes could really do something with. Would fucking die to have that spot. It's a die to have 10 minutes on the floor.
It was easy to say that, but you see that shit in all facets of life, bro. Like, with certain jobs, it's like, the old heads.
Definitely. It's who you know. It's a brotherhood. How many times we hear that all the time,
Not even that. I'm just saying, like, it's just like a seniority thing. Just like sometimes they just get jobs and they're not going to let the shit go. And it just happens.
I get that. Like, people were talking about Carmelo. Shout out to him because he finally officially retired. Maybe we'll do the melodrama too to commemorate that man.
Yeah, why not?
But a knock on him that I used to talk about heavy is like, this nigga would get the bread and just not really sacrifice to fucking make this team better.
No, he sacrificed, but he waited too late.
He waited too late to do so, and I get it. Maturity comes at different times for people.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He'd been playing since he was a kid. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more forgiving of him than I was in the past. But at the end of the day, he chose to take that money, and I'm not mad at him, son. If someone is like, here's tens of millions of dollars, to just come back, son, just to extend, who's gonna say no? Like, it's gonna be hard to say.
I mean, no. and when he signed that contract, I mean, towards the middle of it, they had a pretty damn good run out in Denver, at least. I mean, the reality is, bro, Melo in Denver and Melo on the Knicks was two different.
And even, but in both cases, like, I wouldn't even just pin it on him taking the bread like I had in the past.
Yeah.
because again, it's about what does the organization set you up with.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the only knock again I really have on him is him not fucking with Jeremy Lin, and even then, like, tried to play past it, and the organization felt slighted because Jeremy Lin had the nerve to say he was going to test the market, even though he said plainly, "I want to come back here, and you guys can match the offer anyway if someone makes a crazy offer for me." Whatever. That's here nor there. And again, the irony is that Jeremy Lin is a champion, a ring he didn't want, and Carmelo is not, being one of the greatest 75 players ever.
Yeah, life is about choices, man.
Yeah. So shout out to him. But again, you're gonna throw. I think about Tom Brady and how admirable his choices in the last few years had been, being like, yeah, I could take the max money and they'll give it to me. They'll give me anything I ask for. And he's still like, nah, I'll take that pay cut because we need fucking talent to win.
Yeah.
And so I know that not everybody's going to make that choice. You only have a certain window of time and span to make millions of dollars. I get you choosing it. I really do. Especially for the sake of your family and your people and yourself, because careers after basketball or sports in general are not guaranteed.
No.
Who knows what you'll be doing, especially if you're not a guy who's cut out for coaching or commentary or any of that shit. You just probably
if you're not
you're gonna be Gilbert Arenas at the crib, basically.
I mean, Gilbert, his
which he's doing well. That shit is hilarious. I don't know if you watched
Gills.
That. Yeah, this nigga's wild.
No chill Gills.
Shout out to Gilbert, son. Really exposing some truths there.
It's beautiful, and I guess that shows you where we have come and kind of matured as a society, where we can get real insightful shit from Agent Zero, son. I never thought I would say that shit, but he he's a real character, and he probably will tell you himself he had a lot of growing to do, but he's also one of the original trolls. So, once you understand that, it's like, all right, you break that down and, so on and so forth. But yeah, nah. Like, this, like, even just, his take on the whole John Morant thing, he's somebody you would want to hear from, even though his situation was way different.
It's an easy comparison to make.
Yeah.
People are going to think about you for sure.
No, that's the first comparison they make, son. Even though, like, he really never even touched any guns, son. He just...
or wasn't even seen.
No. No.
Now times are different. Everybody has a camera in their pocket.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, but yeah. No. That's who we are, son.
Oh, man. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, since the span of that happened while we were away? The how do they say it? Ja brandishing guns on camera.
Man, Ja Wick.
They made this nigga seem like he had guns pressed to niggas' fucking heads and shit.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The way, some of these stories you hear, son, it almost seems like if he could have, he would have, man. But especially that finish line shit. Everybody talked about it, so everything has been said. But at the same time, I'm not going to say he's young, because he is young in the grand scheme of things, but he's not a normal 23-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Dude, like, look, dudes have been playing in the league for a long time, so, like, there's been several blueprints that have been made, and several blueprints that have been made in regards to how to fail. You know what I'm saying? He's clearly choosing that pathway.
Or trying to do what a lot of them do, which is, I could wild out and get, away with it, essentially.
Which, they almost let him do, bro, because the 8-game suspension essentially was that, a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, well, they could not afford. They needed to have him in the postseason, so they could not afford to suspend him for a long time. And they knew the team would be okay because they had already gotten used to playing without him when he was hurt.
you want to, whether you want to take it now or later, you want to have to take them licks, man. I would have rather just suspended him for however long and just got that shit out the way. Because now
They
you
could have
fucked.
did it to the postseason, like, cause what there was only like a handful of games that he played when he came back.
Yeah, because that happened. Well, not happened. Actually, that happened like right around my B-day, so that was like early March.
Mm-hmm.
So you had about like maybe 3-4 more weeks.
Yeah, they could have just shut him down to the postseason, which they had already clinched. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's indefinite. You know what I'm saying? And it's indefinite, and now it's a way worse situation than it really was. You know?
Yeah, because they're not gonna bring back Dylan unless they relent.
No.
You lose the motor of your team, even though the team is still good. It's not great now because you don't have that spark. Unless Desmond Bain evolves another level, and even then, the reason why he's great is because they play well off of each other.
I mean, they haven't been a cohesive unit in a while, so I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I'm surprised if he doesn't like try to leave or ask to leave himself. But
again, I'm not gonna say they blow it up, but I never thought that like for them to win, that team can't be what it. They everybody isn't gonna be there, and they can't be, obviously, bro. So you got to bring in some young grizzled veterans, some old veterans, and just people who want to win and know how to win, and they're not about the BS. Josh Sneaker sold out as soon as they dropped the shit. So to me, that's definitely it's a good and a bad sign. You know what I'm saying? It's bad because clearly the youth don't get it, but and I'm not gonna lie, that shoe really isn't really all that to me any fucking way. So whatever, but these little kids don't know what sneakers or they don't know what a real sneakerhead is, man. Like just because something is mad colorful and low top, they think it's swaggy. But it's good because Ja again, he is one of the faces of the league, bro. So a lot of things rest on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Especially him getting better as a player, number one. That's what he should be concentrating on. I'm not going to sit up and blame anybody but him, bro. Honestly. Because at the end of the day, like, all right, you the breadwinner, you're the leader, supposedly, and you're the one everybody's looking to, so therefore the buck stops with you. It begins and ends with you, bro. All right, so you lose the bag, bro. All these motherfuckers around you ain't going to be around you no more. Then you're going to really be in the hood looking real JYD-ish.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, I mean, look, man. He hasn't hit rock bottom, luckily. He could. But, lock yourself in the gym, boy. Stop hanging with I forgot what rapper I saw him with, man. But, stop. Just work on your jumper.
Yeah,
bro.
just go into the time chamber.
Get in the weight room and work on your jumper, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Work on your defense. Come back and become the MVP, bro. Then all this shit goes away. Honestly.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because if he comes back, and he doesn't even have to really be like overly cooking like he's the best player in the league, but if he just comes back and just cooks, he's automatically going to probably be the dude that gets the most votes for the All-Star game. So.
Well, look how hard they were cooking this year. And there's a lot of clown shit going on this year with them.
No, but I'm saying
and
like
they were the number 2 seed. That shit's crazy.
He has to come back and he has to be the reason that he has to be leading them.
Yeah, a rising tide floats all boats.
Yeah,
depending on who they even keep. Because to your point of them blowing it up, I could see them panicking and blowing some shit up or fucking getting rid of somebody.
No, I mean honestly no, because they
over committing. Let's say they getting rid of Dylan.
They did that with that. That's what I was about to say. That's what they did with Dylan.
They're probably gonna get rid of
he was the scapegoat.
Fucking Steven Adams because he can't stay on the court. If they can,
they may release him. That would be whatever. I mean,
and they really can't afford to lose anyone else because everyone else is like a decent rotational player. So yeah.
I mean, they could let Steven Adams go, but you still have to replace. You got to get some sort of backup center.
Yeah, and a backup for Dylan. Like, as much as he's the villain or whatever, like, he was an effective player for them, especially defensively and energy wise.
Keyword was.
You know, well, because he's gone. They're saying he's gone. So
No. I'm saying was because he wasn't all that this season, man. So.
well, he got caught up. You know,
He played himself out because if he was what you were saying he was, then
he just Colby Covingtoned it. Like he got too wrapped up in being the heel and just doing what a true heel does, which is continue to win despite the heelish shit. Like, yeah, you give him a little bit of the spice, but overall you prove on the court.
no, you affect it any way, shape.
Like what niggas are gonna remember is that poke the bear shit, and not what how he kind of salvaged kind of a miserable. Technically a miserable NBA season that he had by still being effective for his team defensively and energy wise and being the lightning rod for the team.
Nah, he wasn't any of that shit in that series, bro. He got spanked out. And
I ain't saying that series. I'm talking about overall, like because he reveled in it. So
yeah.
In a
like
way,
I said,
kinda,
this season, last season he was definitely that. This season, no, he was trying to be a superstar and like he was just
be like I'm that nigga.
It wasn't the same. You know what I mean, it just wasn't the same.
That's what I'm saying. He got caught up in the persona.
Because before we knew who Dylan Brooks was, bro, he was exactly what you're saying he was, and you saw that on the court. Like watching him this season, he thought he was a superstar. Well, that's their problem, bro. They all think they're the superstar on the team, except for 3J, except for Jaren. Because even I'm starting to see that with Desmond Bain too. Like they all swear that they're,
But I feel Desmond's frustration because
Me too. I get it, but
he is like the number 2 guy. Like as good as 3J is, he both has to like Bam out of bio. He has to be on both sides of the ball, so it takes away from the offense a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You want him to be that anchor player, but
no, he's been like
Desmond didn't seem as good this year. He was good.
No.
But last year he was cooking like hard. I know because he was on my fantasy team and I watched him all year cook. So
no. Jaren is the one that carried them this season, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, he brought the thing to them that they lack, which is defense. Like he's that he really brings that anchor like that. So he just solidifies them.
That paint presence, man, especially when Giant around.
And then as a result, guys like Brandon Clark and whoever played better because you couldn't like see this nigga who's basically hurt most of the year come out there, play his ass off, and then you not do the same.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. They're just one of those teams that one of their guys are gonna go down. One of their key guys.
And despite that, again, they were the 2nd seed.
Yeah.
And then he came back at the right time and put on at the right time.
Yeah. But, like I said, man, you want to wish the best for Brother Ja, but he's not showing another key word or key phrase that seems to be coming up a lot these days. He's not showing a lot of accountability, man.
Yeah. I see that, but I think there's also something to be said about the narrative around an NBA player because they drew a lot of comparisons between him and AI. AI wasn't wilding in the same way, but they treated him like he was for being out there with Timbs or whatever and being a good
yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know what AI was doing, just to be realistic.
I'm just saying, just on in the media, what they were pinning him down for, which is,
what
you
we
look
saw.
like a goon, you're niggerish. Like that's basically essentially what they was on him for.
And he wasn't helping with that.
And of course not. And I get that. It was on that Kyrie shit. I could see why Kyrie like being press conferences tight and being like, fuck you niggas. Essentially on the verge of fuck you niggas. You press niggas don't know shit.
Yeah.
I get it. But you also shouldn't be in the press conference saying fuck you press niggas, you niggas don't know shit, because if I say that in the course of my job, which I do sometimes, because we have bad days,
right?
But if I say that, I'm fired. So, and I get that there's the comparison is not 1-to-1. Obviously, I'm not a superstar basketball player, but I get his frustration, even though he shouldn't say that smart dumb nigga shit. that he says.
Bro, it's just real passive aggressive, man.
Yeah,
it's just corny. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
If you really are that dude, like you should show that instead of just being like, fuck you media niggas. And I get it's easier said than done. Like I'm not out there in front of the lights. Like y'all can't even see my face, like during this show. So, I get it. I really do.
No, no, I mean, your emotions are riding high. You know what I'm saying? You had
they're
a shitty
pressing
game.
you. They're asking you questions that
They
they
ask
know you don't
dumbass
want.
questions,
They
man.
know you don't want to answer. You know.
Yeah, and to a degree, it could seem like they're poking the bear a little bit, but the reality is they're just trying to get the best possible information out of you. They can ask whatever question they want, and you can answer it however you want to.
And also do their jobs.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how we often get annoyed when we're getting yelled at, you know, by some Becky or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing we often say, right? Miss, I'm just trying to do my job. Like, that's it. Like, please, like, help me out. Help me help you.
That's it, man.
So I sympathize with that. But on the other hand, nah. like you said, accountability. But I just try to bring up the other side of things because, as you know, like in politics a lot, you have a lot of politicians, conservative ones especially, having their whole family holding ARs on the Christmas card. And that's just that's just okay. And I'm not going to pretend like this is my original point or whatever. Like various people have brought this up.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It really is just cool. Like you don't hear nothing about, oh, like little 8-year-old Timmy shouldn't be holding that high-powered fucking, you know, automatic rifle or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, why is your little girl holding that pink fucking, you know, fucking murder fucking, you know, machine or whatever.
I mean, but again, bro, that those are two different contexts, though, man.
Yeah, and I get that, and I get why people kind of push back against it, but it's interesting. Again, like, this man, you know, it wasn't smart to flash guns on camera.
No.
In whatever context it is, and whatever the fuck it is you're doing, whatever, having a good time, being a little nigga, whatever, like, with money, I get it. You having a great time.
No, it's not even about, like him doing it, but then him doing it again.
Yeah, like shortly thereafter,
doing it the first time wasn't the problem, bro.
Like,
you doing it again
after you know, try to like really earnestly take accountability, and then you know now realize that you don't really seem to give a shit about any of that. You know,
that's what it looks like.
I don't want to contradict myself, but I almost rather you be on that Kyrie like smart dumb nigga shit and be like, yeah, I'm out here, like, you know, so on and so on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, now that there will be real accountability, and you're forced to go and lament and potentially, you know, never play again if they really want to punish you hard. No. I don't think that'll be the case. I'm just saying that if I'm sitting at from his viewpoint, being like, yo, if these niggas want to, they could just ban me. They just blackball me. And there's nothing I can do about it.
He could definitely lose the bag. You know what I mean?
Even further than he already has.
Bag,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
And again, you know how it is. The longer you're not playing, like the rustier you get, even if you're in the time chamber, because you're not on the court.
Yeah, man, and you know
and that matters. You know,
suddenly your shoes are being sold at Kmart.
Yeah, and niggas are laughing at you because you know, fucking. I don't know, Jose Alvarado is fucking cooking you, you know, or some shit. Not just shit on Jose Alvarado, like, but like, you know, he's getting busy in a way that he wasn't getting busy before.
All right, no, I'm about to hit you with a Mario tunnel right now, son. Who gets the 30 for 30, son? Him or Ben Simmons?
Probably Ben, because.
But this is with under the assumption that it's like a redemption story.
Then definitely Ja, because his story is more marketable. You know, they were definitely set to do the redemption on this man the first time. You know, after he said I'm sorry and all that.
Yeah.
Served the suspension and whatever. You know, all right. Like the league was ready. Like Nike, it's not Nike. It's Nike, right?
Nike.
That's Nike was ready. The league was ready. They were fully invested in the redemption story.
I'll show you the shoes. So.
They were ready, man. Like they were thirsting to sell that, especially as a storyline, a major storyline in the next season. Now that the Grizzlies are out.
Yeah. They was fronting at first.
No, but you know, behind the scenes, they only gave him, like you said, 8 games. Like they could have really.
I'm talking about Nike because they were talking about dropping him.
Nah, they have to say that. You know that. They have to say that.
All about the money. Here comes the money.
So, you know, they still might be invested in the redemption. He is, after all, him. He's very talented. And frankly, there have been worse characters in the league who have gotten redemptions. So,
boy, them shits is not all that. They don't even. They're not even like grizzly colored.
They look, they're not grizzly colored. They look like some weird piston shoe.
No, they look like they look like a combination of like Air Force Ones and like maybe like Bo Jacksons.
Yeah,
but they're whatever. Man.
Hey, at the very least, at least he's recouping some of the bag he lost.
Nah, bro, I say that because wait. So some other shit. I might have to get back to that. You want to see mad little dudes or mad little individuals with them shits on the summer, man.
Yeah. Shooting each other. God, don't shoot each other, please. But
that's smoking that Jaw Wick.
That Jaw Wick packs. And
see, man.
You've seen that GTA poster they did of him as a GTA character.
Yeah. Nah, they did. Like, there's a couple of them, bro.
That shit is funny, man.
They was going ham.
Hilarious. Oh my god.
Nah, they was going ham on him, and they was going ham on AD, son.
They been going ham on him. Like, you never seen so much use of the Mr. Glass, like
Boy,
him in the wheelchair as Mr.
Son.
Glass.
They go in, bro. They don't even wait for this dude to like have a diagnosis. Son.
Oh my god. But to answer your question, the 30 for 30. I think the more the one that people will hate watch is the Ben Simmons one, because the way that he was like heralded,
right,
was not the same, as Ja. Like Ja was heralded, but like they was talking about, as usual, the comparisons to Bron. Oh my God, another foreign player who's like amazing.
I mean, but like
blah 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 blah.
Right.
Like they were talking about this nigga for a minute, like.
I mean, yeah, and
especially given that he was coming out of Australia.
No, the more interesting one will be the Ben Simmons one.
That's why I think that'll do better as a 30 for 30. Like,
it will be.
Ja is ultimately kind of seemingly assuming that he just kind of gets his shit together and doesn't do anything.
He's in a way better position.
Yeah, especially to come back. You know what I'm saying? Ben is looking at China if he's even trying to play ball ever again now. So
yeah, that's
not Ja's position. The league wants him back in. They're just kind of. They're gonna wait for shit to the heat to die down on this, so they can bring him back. Like post All-Star break or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if they lucky, man. Yeah, he probably will be going at least till about January.
Yeah, or if they're really fucking hungry, they bring him back for Christmas, or just before Christmas, so he could look good on Christmas. If they're on TV on Christmas, we haven't seen the schedule yet, so we'll see how that shakes out. But if they're on Christmas Day, then I think that's a good sign he's gonna come back or be back before then.
I mean, I guess, man.
Which would be wild,
I guess.
But I see them doing that. Like again, they were gonna really, the redemption story was ready. Like they were really ready to be like, yeah, like.
All right, but it's not up to the Grizzlies.
Ja learned
it's
from
up
his
to the
mistake.
league.
It's up to the league.
It's up to Adam Silver now.
Yeah,
like
how profitable is he really to us?
No, I mean, again,
is he worth the headache? That's what the process is right now.
He's really on some shit like he trusted Ja.
I bet.
And now he made him look stupid now. So
yeah, so now we're torn, like, because we know what David Stern would have did. You know.
But again,
that man would have hit someone with the wrath of God. Like
again, this shit it wouldn't happen this way if David Stern was around though.
Yeah, no, it happened once, right? That first time, and then he'd be like, "Listen, nigga, like this is what it is."
You know what I'm saying,
like he said to Carmelo, like he said to Stack Jack, like he said to all these guys, allegedly, because now they're all telling these stories, but Carmelo at least straight up said, "Yo, he took me to the side and said, listen, little nigga, like, here's
where you at, son.
We know what you do, and that's enough, hopefully, for then again, we're in a different generation now. That's also part of it. I alluded to it earlier with having a camera in your pocket, in social media and shit. The hunger for clout is seemingly such now that
that's what it really is, man.
It overrides common sense, and niggas have always wanted clout for centuries. Like, this is not a new thing.
Yeah.
But now you can have it instantaneously. It. I don't want it to be like, the youth, or whatever. Like this.
Attention has always been a drug, bro.
Yeah. So it's even more of one for people who could just reach into your pocket and film you doing dumb shit. Especially if you're a famous nigga.
You can do more with it, son. You can actually profit from the shit now.
Yeah, more than ever.
Yeah. Without having any talent or skills or, you know.
Yeah, just willing to be a spectacle.
Yeah, and it's bad when you have somebody who's already on top doing that, son.
Yeah.
You already made it, bro. You don't need to do that shit. But,
I think that's also where the base of a lot of people's frustration comes from, is that. Like, that's what you hear most people mentioning, being like, yo, you're winning, bro.
yeah.
Like, why do you even feel a need, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I'm willing to excuse this nigga a little bit because it was okay when Karl Malone was showing hunting weapons, you know, as Karl Malone. It was okay in certain instances. Why isn't it okay for... And again, I understand he did it in a way that is seen as, like, immoral.
Justified.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not professional, because not illegal. Like, I could see if he broke the law.
Yeah.
And people are treating him like he did and saying pretty much that he broke the law, which he did not. So, I don't know. I think there should be some slack cut because he is a young dude from a state that is totally cool with guns. And, like, gun culture is different there than it is for various parts of the country, including ours.
It can't be slack cut because he plays for the NBA and they have Black Lives Matter.
Well, that's why I meant that's why I mentioned professionalism.
So,
like, it wasn't a good thing to do for work.
Yeah.
But niggas is treating it like this man fucking again held a gun to somebody's temple or held a gun to you know, on camera to somebody.
Only because of the second time.
You know,
like I said, just because of the double up.
Yeah,
that's where
that was wild. But even still,
no, bro. Niggas gave you a 8-game suspension. You do this shit again. So now it's like, all right, you really ain't listening.
Like
now.
they killed Ron Artest fucking season that first time, and I get it. The malice was at a greater level, you know, than any gun videos, you know. Same thing with Gilbert, you know what I'm saying? They were just like, it's a rap for y'all, like fuck this.
Yeah. And again, that's during the time when I'm not gonna lie to you, sports in general, they had like a zero tolerance policy, son. You know, Roger Goodell had just taken over for the NFL, and David Stern was like, all right, y'all don't want y'all BS. But honestly, again, that's just where the league was and where it is now, bro. And they used to call it a real old league because it was, but that definitely had its perks, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a maturity to it, you know what I'm saying?
Or things were just at least a little more buttoned up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? And that's because
it was easy to keep these things secret, like when they happened.
And I don't want to say it like this, but there was much more stability too, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, all right, look, I like the
you know, except for all that cocaine. So much cocaine.
Well, I mean, that was more like 70s, 80s. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking like more 90s.
Oh, like the modern era?
Yeah.
Soon our era won't be the modern era anymore. We gotta adjust our vocabulary.
I mean, I don't consider it to be the modern.
I still think it's still a 20-year span, you know, from 2000 to now. I think that's why, you know, the times of Jordan are fading a bit, which, while surreal, makes sense. You know,
well, no, I would disagree, but you know,
I mean, we've had this discussion too, like in the minds of the little dudes, like Bron is their hero, Jordan is nobody to them.
Once again, I would disagree with that because of YouTube. Within these last couple of years, though, because a lot of them,
but like, you know, us as little niggas, and I know it's not as instantaneous or as thorough or in depth, but like we were able to watch dudes like Big O and Pistol Pete and all that and marvel at that, but we had to watch ESPN classics. You know, and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you know, still old niggas still talk about their dudes like mad reverently. And not that they're not that good or anything like that or don't deserve reverence. It's just that like Mike is starting to fade into the past a little bit in the little niggas' minds.
I'm telling you, bro, that is not happening.
You know,
it is not happening, bro.
If that's not the case,
there's
then
a resurgence.
Why,
that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Within the last couple of years,
yeah, because of the Jordan reaction.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
what
said,
I'm saying. Like, so, like, it's like for whatever reason, bro. This nigga has his own like fucking like universe on YouTube now, son. So what you're saying is true in regards to like maybe 10 years ago, but now these little niggas are seeing they're seeing that they were false witnesses. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, like some of them. You know, they still rock with Bron because that's their dude. Like and also that's who they grew up seeing.
And also, to your point, technology is better. So, archiving this stuff.
Yeah.
I love, for example, the league's official channel and how they show a lot of old shit like this now.
Yeah.
Which is cool as shit. Like full games and all that. And I think that's wonderful to like have these basketball time capsules or whatever.
Which is no, but and unfortunately, son, the world stopping had a lot to do with that. But that's a different discussion. But
hey, like we talked about with the UFC, there's just some silver linings, and much as these niggas is dickheads, like that was the best year of fighting that I had seen since I started watching these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So there's that. But I guess to go back to basketball, what surprised you the most in the postseason since all this wacky ass shit happened? Besides Jawick, obviously wilding.
Well, I mean,
and Dylan Brooks wilding.
I mean, I want to say the Heat, but that wasn't really. I wasn't really surprised at anything. I guess the biggest disappointment was I can't even call it that, son. I was about to say the Sixers, but again, there was no disappointment, nor was there any surprises because a lot of things that you thought would fall into place fell right into their damn place. Outside of the finals being a 1-8 matchup, which I believe we haven't had since '99.
Yeah.
I guess that's the biggest surprise out of anything. But again, within the realm of understanding the Heat as a franchise, number one, I'm not that surprised. You know what I'm saying? And just if anything, pleasantly surprised. Outside of them beating my damn Knicks, but. Again, I wasn't surprised by that. The Lakers being swept, definitely. Oh no. Let me rephrase that. LeBron being swept, because I didn't see that happening. Just because of him. And
yeah.
I mean, the way he played, that shouldn't have happened. Had this been 5 years ago. I don't know if LeBron beats them by himself, but they damn sure go.
He definitely has a Bron game where he dropped 60 on them.
No. LeBron gets at least 2 games. LeBron 5 years ago. LeBron like 2019, 2018 LeBron. I mean, look, with Austin Reeves and Rui playing the way they were, even with AD given, LeBron would have made things real difficult for Denver because even though Denver swept the Lakers, I didn't feel like they dominated them. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, they had their moments. It's just at certain times they got dry because AD is, apparently fat and lazy. Son.
Yeah, or their offense just dried up. Similar to the Celtics tonight, they chucked a lot. And I get it because that's what got them there. But when their offense dried up, you saw how apparent it was that they didn't really have creators.
Yeah,
that's why the play of Rui and Austin stood out so much. Besides the fact that it was good, obviously.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because they weren't afraid to step up.
The Lakers and
those happen.
Lakers and the Celtics. They're definitely missing both some actual paid presence defensively, but they missing some real facilitators. You know what I'm saying? Because again, LeBron can facilitate, but he can't do everything. He damn sure ain't defending. So if you need LeBron to score, you need somebody to be able to set up and help people get in these spots, especially AD's lazy ass, man. At one point he was what was he? He's definitely missed the glass, but he was street clothes AD. But now I believe they're calling him and AD and DA. Ironically, they the ass bros and the big for nothing bros.
Oh man, that's rough. Especially since they're super good.
And again, to AD's credit, he had some numbers in that a game full of sweep, but he's a stat stuffer, and ultimately we know that because now the the resume is there, man.
Yeah, the precedent is set for him to disappear, which is unfortunate because he's, aside from Jared Vanderbilt and Rui and Austin,
is he really a top 75 player?
When he feels like it.
Skill wise, he is. But
yeah, when he feels like it, yeah, as much in that way of that Dwight Howard is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to say that, dude.
If mentally this man was on it,
no,
he'd be unstoppable.
For me,
because he was unstoppable. Both of them have had points. You know, so has Andrew Bynum, because I think there's a good comparison. When he was on it, this nigga was unstoppable. I'm talking about that run that he had. Like
potential wise, yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying. The ceiling, like
yeah.
this man had, and then when he stopped giving a shit and got fat and I got a championship. Who cares? You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
See what happens.
Even with Bynum, though, and you could say this about Dwight too. They both benefited within an era with which they were trying to get away from the big man.
Yeah.
So, but again, no knock on Bynum, because
he showed up when they needed him to.
His Lakers days, or for 2 years on the Lakers, for those 2 championship runs.
Yeah, he was doing what they needed him to do.
Well, actually, no. Actually, no. I'm lying. No. It was for that second one, because in 2009 they really didn't have Bynum.
Yeah.
But against the Celtics, they definitely needed him, and yeah, he went off. And then honestly, in that next season, that's when he started to really flourish, but they didn't win.
And that's what I'm saying. So
shout out to Scrams.
Exactly, but it's crazy that they wouldn't even sign Dwight Howard. It goes to show you once the perception is, or the truth is, depending on who you talk to.
Why they won that fucking shit? Well, one of the main reasons in the bubble, bro. Because again, he gives AD the ability to do what he wants to do, which is
focus on offense
and not be in the paint.
Exactly, and not getting beat up.
And again, I don't understand that, bro. I guess that's why they got Mo Bamba. But, bro, if you know AD does not want... Well, first of all, again, AD, brother, for the love of God, son.
If you don't know AD, forget all that. If you don't know AD doesn't like to be in the paint, then make that Miles Turner deal that was on the table, apparently.
Make any deal. Bro, re-up on Dwight.
Yeah, who'd be cheap?
He wanted to come back.
You told him he was going to come back until you're like, nah, we changed our mind.
And they haven't been the same ever since. Now, we don't like to deal with a lot of hypotheticals here, but I still feel as if there were no bubble, we would still see the same situation, because every season outside of the bubble, we've seen what AD is. And we've seen with these, honestly, bro, we had a different fucking Lakers team every year, bro.
I was going to mention that.
Every year since LeBron has been there.
So to further that, if you have no young boys you've developed at all, because they don't.
They shouldn't have never.
And they had plenty of guys that they could have developed at various positions.
I'm taking BI over AD right now.
God, just that squad that they had.
Matter of fact, because you still would have had BI and Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's really what it came down to. A lot of teams wanted Josh Hart, and they weren't willing to part with Josh Hart, and then they finally did anyway, which was stupid. And you kept Kyle.
No, thank you. As a Knicks fan, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but you kept Kyle out of all them dudes. Word.
No, Kyle got busy for them though.
Yeah, and but he was kind of forced to, or else face the wrath of bronze. So.
I would take him over AD right now.
And in a way, I was just going to say that, and in a way, it serves him, because he went through that adversity, then went to a team that he needed to actually get busy on and is more valuable.
Matter of fact, Kyle, boy, if you're trying to come up to the Knicks, come holler at Chiguala.
Isn't he a free agent?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It seems like the Wizards aren't going to re-up on him.
That's weird. He was their best player at various points of the season.
I think they fell under the KP spell.
It's possible. He's good at that.
I was about to say, watch him give this season.
He's good at the spell casting. Exactly. He squeezed out a really quality season. They're like, all right, cool. They'll be lulled into the false sense of slumber. And
ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
He can come back fat.
He does that like Julius does, but I'm still taking him over Julius, because at least he'll D up.
Yeah, and he'll have some hot nights.
And I'm not I don't want to say he has more heart than Julius, but I've seen KP really, really, truly affect games, son. For instance, if I have to give you one quick example, that Christmas game when it was them against the Celtics, and that's when I seen damn, KP has another level, bro, where he can affect both sides of the game.
He has pride too. That's what it is. He's one of those. If he gets mad enough, he'll bomb on you.
Yeah.
Type of players. and I think that's also, he's a player, I guess, if we're gonna go on a quick tangent, where, you're the unicorn. They had all this, Markel Fultz, like, you're gonna be this motherfucker, and he just needs to be a steady, reliable shooter. Not just that, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, when he plays steady, that's when he's the most effective. When he's a good number 2 or 3 player, they win because you can't guard this nigga. Like, when he's feeling good,
he's not the main focus.
And when he's feeling good, you can't. When he's confident, you can't guard him anymore.
That's why he was getting right when he first came to his first season, because Melo was still, kind of like the main focus, and then,
and he was unproven and all these things.
That, and he was giving us a lot of what we needed at that time, which was length.
Yeah,
he was rebounding,
mobility, another shooter.
Yeah, he gave us a lot of versatility as a big man, and again, like I said, he plays D, son.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say when he cares. Like, a lot of these guys we're talking about, when they care, man. They're very dangerous.
I'm saying, shout out to Latvia, man. Shout out to all the veterans too, man.
Yeah, happy. It was Memorial Day, as of this recording. But shout out to y'all. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
We appreciate it. I guess the surprise for me was Denver actually holding on to an earlier point you made. And getting to the finals, despite being fronted on all year.
Yeah, I mean, I got that's a duel, I guess. And the fact that they actually did sweep these dudes, and they finally going to their first fucking finals, man.
And they just again kept adjusting.
Well, their first finals in the NBA.
Everybody was fronting on these dudes. Everybody's fronting on these dudes all year. And fucking, I'm the Nugget advocate, so I kept feeling wrong every year, every time. And despite the fact they were getting better and Jokic was getting better, and the stat that stood out to me besides all the numbers he was putting up was that ever since he joined the team had gone to the postseason every year, and I hadn't realized that, or I hadn't made that connection, and that showed me something. So it's like, all right, they were due. They were due something, and finally you saw what the team looked like when they weren't all hurt. Or when their key pieces when they're hurt. I've been telling them to trade Michael Porter Jr. Like I'm the GM or whatever. I've been telling them on the phone, trade Michael Porter Jr. every day, and it was cool that for him anyway that they stuck it out, and he
was effective for them.
Was very effective, but also because I like to think that Aaron Gordon scared him into showing up for them a little bit, because once they both started putting on, they were seemingly unguardable.
I mean, I don't know, because that may be part of it, but we don't. I mean, you're out here talking shit in New York. We don't know how much shit they're talking about him out in Denver.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
And again, point is, we're not the only ones talking shit. So I guess pride finally took over, and he finally decided to have a full game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, and again,
or just stay on the court. Like, first step. Stay on the court.
Yeah.
Everything else is a bonus.
No, again, and that was one of the biggest knocks on them, bro. Because again, the Denver Nuggets are usually one of the more talented teams, bro, regardless of what regime you're talking about.
I know we've been talking about it for how many times you'd be like, yeah, I just can't believe in them, though. Every time. But I was like, but they're mad good, though.
No, again, the talent is never a question.
Good.
It's never a question. It's always, again.
And they have the altitude advantage. They have this, not that it's like this huge, incredible thing, but it's still an advantage.
It seems like it is. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Watching the Lakers, bro, that shit definitely set in.
Wheeze, yeah.
It set in. But no, again, you need some luck to win a championship. And, the cards finally fell in their favor, finally.
Yeah.
In regards to no injuries. They essentially came.
That's the main one. Luck favors the prepared, right? And beyond no injuries, they picked up KCP. They picked up Bruce Brown.
Yeah,
They picked up Aaron Gordon last year. They picked up all these pieces that have kept
guys that are effective, man.
and have kept them running through this. Like basically, these guys, these three guys specifically, but other players as well, kept basically the motor running until MPJ and Jamal Murray, more specifically, who was kind of like quiet.
Yeah, he's the one that he had to find himself.
Exactly, he had the slow start, and then now that he's hot, he's back to what he's back to that bubble Jamal Murray where he's just shooting the lights out.
Yeah, and I mean, again, he's the main one in regards to like the injury and him kind of losing some steam, then having to get that back. But again, look, it's cool to say that against a I'm not going to say a hobbled, but a weird Laker team that doesn't really know who they are.
And, doesn't have cohesion because, again, they made a deal that fundamentally changed everything about themselves, essentially, with those guys. Because you suddenly had way more options. You had lineup combinations you hadn't even considered before, much less had time to implement.
Right.
LeBron was hurt with the foot. AKA allegedly.
Like the foot, the ankles, multiple
all these injuries, and allegedly taking steroids and trying to cycle off of them.
And he's old.
Anthony Davis is paper mache, as he always has been. So you're dealing with all these things that you need to go right to win, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook wasn't going to carry. Even though Westbrook, shout out to him, he had a pretty decent postseason performance in his own right. Given what, once again, the Clippers are cursed, as we keep saying, and many keep saying over and over again.
I guess the Clippers are the favorites for next season, then, son. If the Nuggets is doing it, why not them?
Nah, I can't believe in them, son. Just like you say you couldn't believe in the Nuggets, I can never believe in the Clippers, son. I think they are haunted, son. Even though they also make terrible.
No.
They make terrible decisions. I think they are really haunted.
No, but
haunted by the ghost of Donald Sterling.
I forget what if it's not this season coming up, it's next season. But they moving to Inglewood, so they're going to get their own stadium. So once they do that, the curse
they need to have the fucking.
So I mean, because the only reason they have that curse is it's the Staples Center.
They better have like that shit sanctified by like 75 clerics or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like having like the blood of virgin children like mixed in with the foundation or some shit like that to keep that shit away.
Because that's the old forum basically. So that shit has mad good juju in it. So.
I would hope so. I sure hope so. Also, they won't have to share an arena
that's what I'm saying
anymore.
That has a lot to do with
no
the
clashing,
juju.
No clashing energies.
For me, I still feel like they should get out of Cali, but
yeah, they'll never allow it.
No.
That would be cool, though. The Seattle Clippers? Let's go.
They should.
Let's go.
They should, but they won't. They won't.
California got enough teams, son.
Too many.
Many sports teams, much less basketball teams. Like, just give us a couple, son. Bro.
But, they won't.
Got dumb teams.
Matter of fact, nah, because they trying to get a team in Vegas, so Vegas Clippers, man. But
fuck it. That'd be awesome. What a way to break the curse, man. Imagine. Even if they made a conference finals appearance, that would be a huge deal.
I mean, yeah, you just take the curse into Sin City, bro. That should neutralize it.
Fuck it. And more than anything, even if it doesn't, you can make mad money off of gambling on them.
That's another 30 for 30, son. The Clippers scandal.
The Clippers curse, and it truly is a curse. And I'm sure there's someone out there compiling research on how cursed they are, really.
Nah, you just talk to Billy Crystal.
Exactly. He'd be the narrator of the movie.
Oh my God.
He would be a narrator of the 30 for 30. He would have to be. There's no, or him and Will Ferrell, like them niggas.
Nah, he would murder Will Ferrell if he could get the fucking Clippers one championship.
They would fight to the death. Like if it meant one championship for the Clippers, if one stabbed the other and they were like, it's worth it. As they died, it's worth it.
Now Will Ferrell's a Lakers fan, so he
loved the Clippers too, though.
Well, all right. Well, that means he's just a fake.
He's just a homer.
Yeah, so nah, he wouldn't count. He's not
Billy Crystal.
He's not a pure blood.
He's real. So,
yeah. He's been there since day one, son. Him and Marcellus Wiley.
So it'd be them to battle to the death, son.
That's not an even battle, son.
Nah, Billy just needs to shoot him. Like Billy would cheat.
No. Well, I mean, not to throw out any weaknesses, but Marcellus does have a lot of ailments because of foosball. So
That's what I'm saying. Son. And Billy Crystal stabbed him in the right way. Son.
No, not even if he catches him at the right time when because sometimes Marcellus he'll stiffen up and he can't even move, son. But
just catch him in the street one good time.
Yeah, just catch him one good time. That's it. But
and then you're like, yo, it's for the Clippers, and Marcellus will be like, I understand, and that'll be it.
Yeah, fuck it. All right,
I bet. But we get the chip, but I will die happily.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
If this really means it, bury me in a fucking Marco Yarich jerseys.
God damn, not even basic game, son.
Not even basic game. I see more as a Nugget, man. He did all the cool shit as a Nugget. That he got credit for.
All right, so
it's like Aaron Aflalo, son. This nigga is a Nugget forever.
At least Chris Kaman, son.
Maybe Chris Kaman. He did put on.
Speaking of another gun-toting individual.
Word. See, another one, son. He didn't get buried.
Well, he's white.
He got to have a fairly fruitful
he's
NBA
white,
career.
And he was not a superstar. He was never the face of the league.
True, but he was their best player at the time.
All right, but that's not all right.
That means he was a high profile.
I mean, was he?
Not a star, but you know what I'm saying, like a high profile nigga. You know what I'm saying, like
nah.
This nigga was scoring, bro. But
niggas wasn't talking about Chris Kaman, but because he was on the Clippers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if he was on the Lakers, yeah.
He was getting numbers, bro.
Yeah.
But I see where again your point stands. You know, but you know, some people bring up the Jailblazers, right? You know, everybody talks about the Jailblazers. And how much scrutiny was drawn at them because they were the Jailblazers or whatever.
Yeah.
Compared to some other shit that some niggas did or Jason Williams or whatever. You know, that was an accident. You know, I don't want to bury Jason for that. But there's some accountability there too. So no one told you to like whip out a shotgun and play with it in front of your driver. Like,
you wild out.
While you drunk. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. So I don't know. We talking about guns a lot in this episode. That's weird.
Unfortunately, weird. that's what we are.
Yeah, we are in America.
There's a lot of that going on.
But yeah, to sew all this up, at least what I was talking about. The Nuggets were the surprise for me because they finally proved me right, and it's nice to be right. My favorite thing about the last couple nights of basketball were when the Nuggets sealed it, and they were giving Jokic the MVP, the Western Conference Finals MVP. Like three Nuggets were like, he's like the MVP, like it's like the real one, like screamed it into the cameras of the real one. I was like, oh fuck Joel Embiid, fuck this niggas, fuck Jay-Z. Like that's basically what that felt like.
We're going to the finals, relax, bro.
Yeah, the real one.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for the Nuggets. I'm happy for Jokic because it would be easy for him to just be like, I'm mad because they don't respect me, and he had like a couple of moments like that. But for the most part, he just played.
I mean, because
that's all he just played. Like he played.
He's a back-to-back MVP, son. At this point, you've been there and done that, bro. Now we on to bigger and better things.
Yeah,
son.
But I also feel like even when before he got MVP and was really getting his flowers, like his thing was like, I want to win.
Yeah,
I want to win, and I
mean the way he plays,
I want to win, and I want to be the best.
Yeah,
like that's what he cares about. You know,
and you see, all right. For instance, like once the pandemic hit and you saw, first of all, things shut down, and you saw them pictures of like him just losing all that weight. That showed you, all right, he's ready, man. Like he's doing what he needs to do to become like or take it to that next level. And he you see that now, bro. Like you see, like he's really the best player in the world, man. Because like he could take it wherever you want to go, man. He's
so he warps the game much in the way that and we talked about this because he draws a double team.
Yeah.
He's either gonna pass over the top or just fucking take that weird push shot that he's mastered now.
Yeah.
And it's hard to adjust to that even when he's just gonna similar to Stockton to Malone. Oh, they're just gonna do this, and you still can't stop it anyway because of how skillful it is.
Yeah, no.
And moreover, the makeup of Denver's team before, like he had to kind of struggle to create there on the right block where he liked to operate out of. And now that he has all these athletic freaks that could operate within, the other side of the box, It makes him that much more effective because now he could do the Sambor shuffle they call it, right? So now he has that move available and various other moves around the basket available. So now you're forced to foul him, and you can't because he makes his free throws. So what do you do? Then what do you do against? You're only happy when he's shooting threes, which sucks because he can hit those too.
Which he will, man.
You know, which he will, especially if you leave him open in transition because he's the one with the ball.
Oh yeah, no. He's going to feast against Miami.
Yeah, it's gonna be trouble. Bam is gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be hard times, daddy. Daddy.
Hard times, man. Hard times.
Hard time. I mean, you know, Bam, I think is up for the challenge. They just don't have the rest of the personnel to back him up, especially if Kevin Love is hurt, and even if he weren't, like it's old K Love. So, what are they gonna really do against this nigga?
I mean, Miami's back.
And even if they could do something against this nigga on these double teams and switches, they still have to contend with Aaron Gordon and MPJ. And Jamal Murray driving. You know,
I don't know if K Love is going to play. Maybe.
It would help if he does, because then at the very least,
neutralize him offensively.
You have a body to throw at this man,
I'm saying,
and a guy to double with.
Yeah, because you stretch him out and he has to play.
Because if it's just him and Bam 1-on-1, it's over, son. He's gonna get killed.
That's a nice change of pace because Bam plays a certain way, and then K Love.
And he likes to help his teammates. Like is not just it's me versus the big man. He likes to float over on any like rim attack.
Yeah.
So I feel like my concern is that he's gonna tire himself out because they're going to be attacking him a lot.
Who, Bam?
Yeah, they have. That's the way to break Miami because Miami doesn't have another way to stifle you defensively besides Jimmy, and Jimmy is already attacking you on offense a lot.
Yeah.
They can outlast Miami in terms of the war of attrition. They have more guys, and again, the Heat have been playing lights out, so all we know, Caleb Martin might just suddenly average 30 in the finals. Fuck it. Especially given the way he played tonight and has been playing the last few games. He, clearly is on his Robert Horry or whatever, but and good for him. Good for Mero, son, because he's a good player.
Yeah, he is.
He was on my fantasy team many times this year because he's just chilling on the waiver wire. It's not going to be like that next year, that's for sure.
Only way Miami wins is, they're going to have to...
They freeze the rest of Denver out and force Jokic to beat them. That's it. Or
I was gonna say just let Joker get his numbers and neutralize everybody.
Or the
else.
Nuggets
let them shoot themselves out.
That's
series.
what I'm saying. The Nuggets finally go cold. That's pretty much because when you see what happens when they go cold,
you're gonna have to you're gonna have to switch your defensive looks up. You're gonna have to throw some weird zones at them just to kind of make them think like.
And you're gonna have to dare Jokic to score on you.
That's what I mean. No,
which
I'm
sucks.
I'm never like I said. If he cooks Bam, he cooks him. But I'm never doubling. You
have to double at some points.
No, he could get 50, but if nobody else scores, we're all right. If they're not hitting those threes.
No, or more importantly, if Aaron Gordon and MPJ and these guys aren't killing you with the back door and shit.
That's my point, bro. That's why we run in weird zones.
That's where they really fuck you up.
And you just throw Jamal Murray in weird situations.
If they shell you, then they shell you. You live with that.
That's what I'm saying. But no.
But if they don't, then they can't beat you.
Yeah.
So,
but obviously you can't.
That's why I say it becomes a war of attrition with them. I guess this slides real quick in the finals previews. So this is a nice way to end things. Where do you see it going, or how do you see it going? Especially given that they were just in a war with Boston. The Heat was so.
They're battle tested.
Things are looking a little grim. Not they also thrive with this shit. Like
that's
they
my
seem
point.
To thrive
that's what I was
gonna
say. Like for me, I ain't gonna lie. Denver would have served well to have been in the 7-game series that they won. That would have served them well too. But
no, they did nah. Because
I don't know.
They have that propensity. I'm saying, to slip. Like I didn't want them to take no chances. Take the win while you can. Go in well rested. Give your guys, your forwards especially, a chance to rest.
Yeah, but that goes both ways because them being well rested ain't necessarily good.
Yeah, they might come out flat. Maybe it's true. They might.
Either way,
I don't think they will. I think they want this. Like that's why I think this is the best matchup that
it should be Denver in 5. It should be Denver in 5. I mean, right now I have to give them the edge. Realistically, again, if Miami is hitting their shots, then there's no contest. Denver should win. I'll say that Denver should win. Will they? I guess at this point I'm about 65% confident in them. So, we'll see.
Yeah, especially since no one seems to be hurt on their side of things.
And that's where, them being rested does come into play. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami wins game 1, but if I'm Denver, then you can't lose any one of those first 2 games.
Nah.
At all.
Maybe game 1 because math is not so heavily stacked against you then if you win game 2.
I mean, yeah, but for me, I don't trust them mentally after that one. But
well, also, you don't trust the Heat to steal road games from you because that's how they've been winning.
Yeah.
They steal those early road games and you're like in shock and then they stab you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't want to get snuck up on by this team, which is how they've been doing things. Like you said, I'm also not surprised they've gotten this far, especially given that they faced off against teams who they had their number, except for the Knicks. But even then, they were outcoached and outplayed. With the exception of,
we gave it to them.
We gave them. Yeah, they broke us, except for Jalen.
But I mean, I knew the Knicks
and also as we talked about, certain niggas didn't get to play. Like that should have played more. But whatever.
Yeah, no. It was about the team, like the team aspect.
There'll be plenty of Knicks talk. Trust us. We've been kind of light on it because we wanted to stay focused.
And that's a different aspect, man.
But yeah, shout out to the Heat for persevering, even though they almost coughed it up. I'm glad they did not, because I did not want to hear them blowing the Celtics for another fucking month. I really didn't.
Yeah, no.
Not, especially not after basically limping to the conference finals, and almost losing their top seed a couple times there near the end of the season. But
only to lose it again.
Well, Brogdon came on at the right time. Certain dudes came on at the right time, but just didn't show up in the postseason the way they needed to.
Again, that's becoming the narrative with them, man.
And a lot of teams, Charles Barkley repeated this several times about them, saying they took too many threes. Like you said, the game
just too many the
game is
tough shots,
tough contested shots that were early in the shot clock, no less. And it sucks that your plan is to basically be bailed out by your 2 stars instead of running some plays and forcing the Heat to defend you,
which doesn't make sense because they move,
especially
the
guys
balls,
like Duncan Robinson who again is a much better player. He showed me something. Shout out to him, by the way. He definitely has stepped up, especially defensively. But you can still attack him. There's still ways to get at this team that they just didn't. They just settled for chucking and then got mad when the shots didn't fall.
The Celtics were the bigger, more talented team. They still got,
and they coughed it. They coughed it up to these guys.
And I mean, if you look at it, they probably won most of the hustle stats. They probably won.
I think also part of them expected it to turn it on for Game 7, and when Mans rolled his ankle on the first play, that crippled him a little bit. Even though they made nice comebacks. Shout out to Derek White.
I was about to say he was the only one that really stepped up.
He came to play.
He was the only one that stepped it up.
I mean, they played defensively. It's just they kept chucking. What is it? They went 7 for 41 from 3.
8 of 42.
8 of 42 from threes. That's nuts.
But again, bro, stop throwing up threes, bro.
Exactly,
it's not working.
You have to attack them, especially a team that you are bigger and better than, like you said.
Kill them in the paint, bro.
Yeah, attack them, and then you break it up with threes, but. Overall, you have 2 guys who have the ability to score from anywhere, and you have them settling for jump shots in a must-win game. That is weird to me, especially when they spent the last 2 games attacking them at the rim relentlessly.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for Derek White, we wouldn't have this Game 7. So
true, but again, that was a 3 that came after 2 games of attacking them relentlessly, at the rim.
Yeah.
And piecing them apart because the Heat just don't have it against slashers, which I feel like that's why Denver has the advantage on this one because they have 5 of those, 4 or 5 of those.
Even beyond that, they have a 7-footer that controls the paint, or you can just controls the game. So
and will force your big men, the few that you have, to really fucking work, and that's gonna be trouble for them.
Now we want to see what Bam is really about, though, man.
I think Bam will show up. There's only just one of him.
Yeah,
That's the issue. I just don't.
But that's to my point. Like again, like I'm not even talking about him defensively because clearly there's not much he can do. But a lot of that has to do with both him and Eric Spoelstra in regards to like. I'm not gonna lie to you, son. The way they play, the way they utilize the Joker, they should be doing that with Bam, bro. Move him around.
Well, also, the Nuggets have a weakness in that
he could be their weak. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
son.
despite the fact that they have all these aliens, the Nuggets, they still have rebounding trouble.
And Bam is a better athlete than the Joker.
So if they take advantage of that,
yeah. So
there's a lot of second chance opportunities. There's a lot of that.
If Bam can really get or be close to getting the Joker into foul trouble, then we have a series. Yeah. We have a series.
I agree. Because you force the Nuggets to go small.
Yeah.
And then now they're playing.
Or just the Joker's on the bench. So now the playing field is even now.
That's what I'm saying. You force Nuggets to go small. They could do it with all the aliens they have.
But they're not going to win if they have to.
You had their engine is out, like you said,
it's over.
And moreover, their other game plan is to shell you.
Yeah.
If the Joker is sitting, so if those shots don't fall, they're gonna lose.
And Jamal, I mean, he's shown me a lot, but he has.
Well, they do it by committee, which is why I feel like they're a lot more successful than before. That's why I keep stressing Aaron Gordon, KCP, MPJ, because they hold the team together.
It depends, though.
Those three together will be the X factor. If one of those three guys stays steady, especially Aaron Gordon, they'll win the title because the Heat don't have anyone to deal with Aaron Gordon.
No, I get that. Either one of them, but that's a big if with all of them.
It's very KCP will be there. He came to play. He's been coming to play. Bruce Brown, you can't really question.
More or less.
Can't question those guys.
With those two, they give you the energy.
It's Aaron Gordon and MPJ. They have to.
Yeah.
If they come together, or one is there and one is right behind them, they will win.
If Jamal
in 5, like maybe 6 because
I'll say 6, 6
because it's hard to win in Miami. But yeah, if they have those guys slashing and rebounding. It's over for the Heat because they just don't have the size. They don't have the size to do it.
If they play the way they should, yes. Yeah. And again, if Jamal he showed me this in this Lakers series or the Western Conference ship. If he's not chucking and taking like silly ass shots, shooting himself out the game, and he's doing what he was doing, which is like what I'm saying, kind of filling it out. Kind of really playing, point. If he does that, no.
He pieces you apart, which is what he should have been doing. And I feel like
if he's like
I feel like part of that is on Michael Malone, and that is like, well, you're really hot from 3, so you just kind of let fly. It's just like, this man crushes you when he is attacking, or
when he's doing a little bit of everything,
or when he's like slicing you up in the mid range, because then it allows the rest of the guys
exactly.
to move.
Exactly. That's how he was killing.
And
the Lakers,
moreover, it forces the defense to shift from the double teaming of the Joker, which again, unfortunately, you have to do at some points. To him, and they can't react to him in time. So he's hitting you with that Kobe jumper. He's hitting you with drives to the basket. He's getting to the line. He's being an all-around guard, like you said, like he always should have been. And, it takes that. I get sitting out for a year definitely fucking be like, yo, when I get back out there.
It was more. It was close. It was like a year and a half, close to 2 years.
Fuck these niggas, man. I'm out here. Fuck what they saying about me, son.
I'll put it like this. If Murray, if he's the finals MVP, then it's Nuggets in 5. Because that means he probably would average somewhere close to like 20 and 10, like 20 and like 9 assists, and that means he has the whole team involved.
And he was defending because that can be an issue with him sometimes.
But he's given enough of an effort to. I'm cool.
And he's
with that.
gonna have to deal with Jimmy on switches as well. I think he'll be fine guarding the other guards, but he'll have to hold Jimmy to some degree.
Now, if this is a big if. I don't know because all right,
it'll mostly be KCP probably guarding Jimmy, but
it's going to be a combination.
Yeah,
honestly, I feel like it's going to be.
They will be switching a lot.
Because of this series with the Celtics, they showed them something. So you're gonna see Aaron Gordon on Jimmy a lot too.
Yeah,
you're gonna see him on him a lot too. But if the Heat get heated up again and they hitting their damn threes, then
the Nuggets are in trouble because
it's problems.
Their perimeter, besides KCP, their perimeter D is not the greatest.
That size don't mean shit.
So the size is neutralized, and you're scrambling because even if you go to the 3-2 zone that they like to do, you still force MPJ to guard you when you penetrate, which Jimmy is doing constantly.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry when he has his Kyle Lowry game that he always inevitably has.
Yeah.
So
it's usually in like game 3.
So
they are smaller and quicker. So
they're tougher. Like they're meaner.
That's the main reason why I give them a shot. So if their threes are hitting, not in like the whole series, but if they can hit those
just on the
buckets,
road.
I mean, shit.
They just need them to hit on the road.
Or shit for at least one road game. At least one.
If they shell them at least once, that'll give the Nuggets pause, and the Nuggets lose when they hesitate. So
that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Yeah. So it's a psychological series. I mean, it's pretty much what this whole playoffs this postseason has been. It's been about the best team. Like the best team in regards to like, what I'm saying, like chemistry and who's together and so on and so forth. That's why like there's a lot of comparisons to what the bubble was. You know what I'm saying? Like it was again, it reminds you a lot of like college, like NCAA, like what I mean, all for one.
Because you had contenders that were basically thrown together in the last 2 months of the season in certain instances,
more or less,
like Phoenix,
more or less,
for example.
Shit, even with the Lakers, even though look again, the Lakers,
yeah, the Lakers too, like right at the deadline,
they
were transformed completely.
Yeah. So we got a good one, man. We have an interesting one going on.
I'm just so happy the Nuggets made it. Oh my god. Holy shit.
Like I said, even though the Heat beat my Knicks, I'm kind of happy they made it. Just because it's not like a traditional like Well, truth be told, this is probably the most underdog fucking finals we've seen in a long time, if ever. Because
these guys can actually win it.
Yeah, and
it's not like they burned. The Knicks like burned everything they had to get to that point.
Yeah,
and then they just didn't have.
Well, that and P. Ewing, he was injured. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why it made it so remarkable.
Yeah.
Because they gave everything to get there. So the Heat haven't quite given everything yet to get there, but they've also been in this situation before in the bubble and other seasons. Because this has basically been their trajectory. Like, they're always either, they either have a flop season, or they have the season where they're always knocking on the door.
Yeah.
No matter what kind of roster they have, especially since Jimmy got there.
Keep it real, yeah. Again, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
So,
but niggas had them written off. I had them written off because they were just so injury prone and fucked up. The Bulls is looking better than them for the longest time. Other teams are looking better than them for the longest time. And
no, I ain't gonna hold you. I was working that night.
Where are they now?
I was working.
Where are all them teams now?
I was working that night of the play-in with them and the Bulls, and in the fourth quarter they were down like 15, 16, and I'm like, the Bulls got it.
Yeah, and then Hemi went on the run by himself. So.
It would have been nice to see what the Bulls could have did in the playoffs, though. But
yeah, they were more a complete team, but they also have a propensity to choke. So I'm kind of cool with the way it's going now.
No, honestly, if it would have been, because that would have been what, the Bulls and Sixers, right?
Yeah, because they were the middle seed.
Nah, the Bulls would have been the 8th seed. So and the Sixers were the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, it would have been number Sixers, and they could have given them something.
Honestly, if there would have been
they could have given them something, but Vucevic would have just got bullied by Embiid.
I don't know about that.
And that's the problem.
I mean, it would have been a good one. If I was the Bulls, that's probably the one team I would have loved to have seen.
I mean, they have more matchup advantage because the Bulls have a lot of guards still, and you would force Maxey to defend, which is a problem of his still. And him versus DeMar is going to be long series.
And we finally would have, because Zach has never been to the playoffs, correct?
Didn't he go with the Wolves?
Nah.
So
because the only time the Wolves made it, that's when they because that's when Jimmy was there.
Yeah, so then it would have been his first time in the postseason.
Once again, Zach, we could use your services on in the Garden, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta pay him though.
Okay.
Unless you're doing he can't do sign and trade. He's already signed, so you gotta pay him.
I'll send him.
Does he have a player option?
No, sign and trade him for Julius.
Straight up, that's not equal value.
Well, not straight up, obviously, but we can work something out. Or even if it's a 3-team. Matter of fact, we 3-team it. Well, I would like to say Indiana, but they probably won't do nothing with the Bulls because they're in the same division.
in the same division, and they hate us.
All right, so, but they not going to whatever, man.
They got a solid team. I know I'm obligated to say that, but they got a solid team.
Shout out to Rick Carlisle, bro. As a matter of fact, let's just trade coaches.
For Tom?
Yeah,
Tom for Rick? That's not
baby.
bad.
Yeah, what up, Rick? What's up, baby?
Bad. He would teach these niggas how to score. That's for sure, though.
No, he teach them how to do a lot of shit that they're not doing. So
yeah, but score as a team, like really.
Not to mention he knows.
Also, he would have played more guys.
That's what I was about to say, son. He knows how to make adjustments.
He knows how to make adjustments, do lineups, all that.
Yeah. In case y'all didn't know, I'm trying to get rid of Julius. ASAP.
We were here. What was it, last week? Right, coming up with dumb trade machine fucking deals for Julius, man. Oh my god.
Once again, folks,
I still like that Portland one. Do you want to do that? We'll do that next episode because off season shit is gonna be what we're talking about, even though it's the finals now.
No, you can bring that up right now. I mean, because we're going
fast. Well, offhand.
I mean, there's so many damn situations.
The one I remember that stuck out that seemed to make the most sense outside of a 3-team, which we had trouble doing,
right,
was the Portland deal.
Yes.
Which assumes that we could trade, Julius Fournier and 2 other players I can't think of right now, Grimes and somebody.
Yeah.
For Lillard and Jeremy Grant.
Now, Jeremy Grant is a free agent.
Or sorry, wasn't it? We were trying to get him in a separate deal. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was just for Lillard straight up and like a guard of theirs or some shit.
No. It wasn't Lillard. It was I think it was Anthony Simons and somebody else.
And Nurkic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. And Lillard stays over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not bad, actually.
I mean, it works.
And the reason why we thought of this is because, according to reports, Portland said that they're probably maybe going to trade the 3 pick that they just got in the lottery, which I guess translates into Scoot Henderson.
Right.
Assuming, because that's the consensus for now, 3rd pick.
If they keep it.
Or if they even choose Scoot Henderson. Who knows? Because Portland has a history of wilding.
That was a Sam Bowie reference.
But they
Sam Bowie,
they've made a lot of suspect picks, but Greg Oden, you name it. But
shout out to Brandon Roy.
Yeah, and
they didn't wild out with him. That
or Greg Oden. He was doing him like
but listen,
it was a logical pick.
They got Clyde.
They needed a big man. Like they picked a big man. They picked the best big man in the country.
Had things worked out, they would have gotten Sabonis way earlier in his prime. They may have a chip right now. Shout out to Jared Jack.
Man.
Your man LaMarcus.
Man.
And hey, they drafted Dame. But I mean, niggas was fronting on Dame because he went to, where did he go? Oakland State? So, nobody was watching too many Oakland State games.
He's such a good player, though. So that was the deal. And then separately, we would get Jeremy Grant in free agency because we had the assets.
Oh yeah, no. We had that one, and we had another one too, the Indiana trade. But I think that was for Mitchell Robinson.
I believe it was Mitch Robinson and some other shit for Miles Turner.
Miles and Buddy.
Yeah, Miles and Buddy, because they said they're trying to get rid of Buddy. They've been trying to get rid of Buddy for a while.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, I would prefer that one before anything else. But
yeah, that shores us up in a way that the team doesn't change that much.
And we get real character guys who clearly, they could clearly put up numbers, but
we
they
get
won't
a center,
care.
and we get a center who scores.
And we get a legitimate gunner, so Jalen Brunson doesn't have to get crazy.
He can just do the tempo thing. And
Josh Hart could really become what he needs to be.
Josh Hart and RJ become the utility players that they should be.
I still may want to shop RJ around. So.
Maybe.
I mean, look.
But you yourself said the market isn't that good. I feel like we should develop, personally, much in the way my other team, Indiana, should develop. There's certain teams that, just chill. Just chill, y'all. Just develop. You had an okay season. Just be cool with being a middle of the road team.
That's cool.
And just develop.
All right,
but the Knicks are better than that.
For me to keep RJ, he has to I'm not gonna say he has to become.
Especially if you get rid of Julius, right? I feel like getting rid of one will free up things for the other.
Possibly.
I
don't know. I still don't trust Mitchell though.
Well, like we've talked about off
'Cause again,
camera.
look,
He say he don't want to be here, so I'm trying to get rid of that dude. Really.
Well, no, he says he just wants to rock more, which is cool. But bro, I don't need.
But he doesn't deserve it. Also,
exactly.
Also,
you're trying to hit step back threes, my nigga.
Also, our coach is not to take accountability away from Mitchell, but like our coach, I feel is not.
Now you can take all the accountability away from him.
He not suited. You know what I'm saying, to calling that man's number. Also, your skill set, like you said, doesn't lend itself towards that. So why would I give you the rock more?
All right,
especially if things are panning out for my other players, like more than you, like Obi and guys like that.
See now
or Hartenstein. They don't call plays for Hartenstein. He wild effective on the floor.
I mean, well, you don't have to call plays for neither one of them. All you have to do is, just pick and roll and dive.
Yeah, and let them.
Excuse me, fundamental fucking
and
basketball.
let them work hard. Exactly, let them do what they do. So.
Especially, well, first of all, Obi is he's a
And to that point, Mitchell showed how effective he is just doing that. Because he definitely carried them across vast spans of the Cleveland series, just fucking outworking players who are better than him.
Mitchell is too in love with his numbers for me, but again, he did play very well without Julius on the floor. Like Mitchell, he'll be more like team oriented without Julius. I can see that. So if we keep him and get rid of
assuming
Julius,
he's not disgruntled, yes.
Again, like I said, just because, like you said, the Cleveland series, what I'm saying, he wasn't getting the rock a lot, but
they couldn't have
because
won
of
they could not have won without him.
No.
Because
and he knew that.
Because Donovan Mitchell's attacking relentlessly. Evan Turner was a ghost. He made him a ghost in that series.
Evan Turner.
Evan Mobley. I know he's an Evan. Fucking Evan Turner. Shit.
Shout out to Evan Turner.
Shout out to Evan Turner. Evan Mobley. He made him disappear in that series, which I was afraid that like we were gonna get killed by those guys inside because
he controlled their whole front court.
Which was amazing to me. I was like, see, this is the guy we need.
Then he was a total no fucking show against the Heat. Yeah. Either way, stay tuned for that next episode.
Yeah.
Folks.
So there's a little bit of a Knicks tape for y'all. I still think they should just kind of stay the course and trade either RJ or Julius. That's where we're at.
Not just Julius.
And finally get rid of the Fournier contract. Nothing against Evan Fournier. He's not playing anyway. He's making too much money. Just he's a waste of a roster spot. Like it's nothing against him. I just need a guy. Yeah. I just need a guy who's playing. Like that's all I want.
I mean, he only has probably like one more year on his contract.
It's just one more year. So. It's not even so much the money. I just want a guy who is contributing.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
And he's a dealable guy because he'll always have value because he's a shooter. So it's not even like he sucks. It's just I want
a veteran that we could have used against Miami, but whatever. Watch him go to Miami.
He wasn't playing either. He's another one. Like he wasn't playing either. So again, I will point at the coach for that one and not so much at Fournier, even though he wasn't having a good year this year.
But again, look,
But I would rather have him on the floor at least trying to take shots. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Thibodeau, or however you want to pronounce it, Tom Thibodeau, is part of the Doc Rivers tree. And if we know anything about Brother Doc, he makes no adjustments. And, all right, to a degree, I can understand that mindset.
Shout out to Tom for not getting fired yet, but Doc did.
See, that's why I kind of wish the Knicks would have lost to the Cavs in that first round, because then Tom may be fired. And
they definitely would have fired Tom if he lost to the Cavs.
We may have Nick Nurse instead of the Sixers, but whatever.
That would have been nice.
That would have been incredible.
Or Monty Williams or someone like that.
I need Tom fired so we can get Monty.
Damn, you're just putting it in there. Lightskin prophecy. Let's go. Let's do it. Or fucking Kenny Atkinson. He's apparently a finalist for some of these jobs too. Shout out to him, son. I'll take him. He's good.
Son, I have nothing against Tom, but again, son, I understand you wanting the inmates to kind of run the asylum, but at the same time, brother, you have to instill a certain philosophy within that and create the structure so that you can let them do that. And not to mention, you have to have the right. Doc Rivers only won a championship because he had the dudes.
He had dogs.
Well, he had
a team of dogs, and moreover, he had guys who were in that Udonis Haslem and like Sam Cassell range of like being able to have second and third coaches on the bench.
True indeed.
And they were the best defensive team in the league.
you had 3 top 75 players.
They were holding niggas to 86, like, on the regular.
True.
Like,
T-Mac said that was the best defense he ever
that's
played.
nuts, you know.
But you had 3 top.
And they were too old, allegedly. Like, all of them by that point. Too old.
3 top 75 players who were hungry, who had never been to the finals, who had never sniffed the finals. All right. So, yeah, of course, yeah. That
who knew the right way to play the game because, again, there are plenty of stars who never sniffed the finals that wouldn't have been as successul as a trio.
They knew what it was, what it was going to take for them to win, and each of them knew, or at least with Ray Allen and KG, they knew the sacrifices that they were going to need to make.
They knew what their roles were.
Exactly. Ray Allen became the gunner. KG became the defensive
and became the defensive anchor and pick and pop nigga.
Yeah. So
and then the crust was like, all right, I will lead us to victory.
Yeah, he's the number one option, and there you go. We off and run, and you got the young fucking facilitator point guard.
Yep.
We off and run.
Who plays the crazy D's.
Yeah. But again, son, all right. With the Clippers, Doc kind of almost had that. Well, no. The best Clipper team for me is like that first team that they beat the Grizzlies, right?
They did.
Before
they got shellacked by them next year.
Yeah.
My favorite version is when CP was hurt and it was Blake in them. And Blake was showing that he could be that lead dog or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's another.
And then they had the 22 win streak Clippers. They were cooking. That was a nice squad.
Yeah. But either way, Doc, Clippers teams he had, they didn't have the same moxie. But I mean, you had grizzled veterans that
they contended for a team that's cursed. They contended.
They messed up by letting Reggie Evans go because he definitely helped them out. They had dudes on that Clippers team, so but Doc being Doc, I'll put it like this: a lot of players that played for him, they were like, Doc is cool, but he's not somebody that's really gonna coach in regards to what you kind of need to do and what's supposed to happen. He just lets. He wants it to be organic. Which, again, I can understand, but you need the personnel for that.
Yeah, he's in. I feel like that D'Antoni class at this point, where not that they're total bums, but to your point that you just made, you need the assistant coaches to really buoy you because you only are known for one or two things, and those that you go to the well when things get hot, and especially for Doc Rivers, that tends not to go well. Because then he gets flustered. At least D'Antoni has shown some level of composure over his last couple runs.
So that's what it is.
But
outside of him being like cool, like a player.
You had coach. The MVP, son, and you made you look like a fool.
I don't know what Doc really does, bro. Like outside of being.
He's him. That's
no,
really
he's cool. He's a cool guy.
He's him. Like I think that's all I can see. Like he's himself. Yeah. That's why I make the D'Antoni comparison. Yeah. Dudes like him, and that's fine. But
what does he do?
You've been coasting on one chip, son, that you barely, I don't want to say you barely had to coach for, but that you had essentially 6 different coaches on your team for, besides your staff.
Yeah,
not mostly veterans on your team. Like super grizzled niggas. Like there's
that team was 85%.
There's very little youth, on your team.
And none of them were at key positions outside of
the youngest player is Rondo. So, yeah. But we'll talk more. Niggas definitely, I was worried that I would be rusty, but, dudes feel good. The jumper is still wet.
Yes.
We were going to talk about fighting shit, but, as usual, niggas got obsessed with basketball like we do. Because a lot of fighting shit has definitely happened since we've been gone.
There's a lot of basketball shit going on.
Yeah, so I guess the next episode will potentially be very fighty at first, and then we'll talk more.
And, some other stuff too.
More off-season shit and various things that may have not have come up now. But, we're still trying to keep it to a magic number. The magic number. The powerful number. Any parting shots? Anything boiling that you needed that you was holding on to, clutching on to in the time off that you wanted to make known, or maybe it hasn't percolated yet?
I mean, nothing outside of what's already been brewing, and that is Jordan is still the GOAT.
Yeah. Get at us with the comments. Has the Jordan magic faded, or is it seen a resurgence? Is he still the GOAT? You know, forever and forever, despite some Jordan slander in sectors of Twitter and other online spaces and young boy mouths and shit.
Shout out to Larza.
Oh my God! Speaking of young boy mouths, maybe that'll be the title of the episode. But thanks for coming. We missed you as always. We will be more present because as usual our high point seems to be in the off season, which is hilarious.
Hilarious, but
worth it. You know, there's a lot
Real
going on.
convenient.
You know, July is coming fast, man. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, even if the off season's a little dry.
That, I mean, and if we're being real, the product isn't as fruitful as it should be. So you know,
Yeah, niggas gotta.
no, that's why we have to talk about a lot of things.
Well, it's more like we just gotta have the stand open. More.
Yeah. We you know what I'm saying. We talk about
The fruit is good. The fruit is still good.
We talk about the side dishes as much as the entree.
Yeah, exactly. So all that stuff. Also, July means Stipe fights John. You know, to give you a nice little appetizer about the fight and shit. So,
Stipe, John, you know, Spence, Crawford.
You know.
We're back to what the summertime used to be. Son.
Violence. About violence.
But constructive violence. You know what I'm saying.
All right, cool. Well, nothing left to do but to land this motherfucker. Let them know where they could find you, nigga. And interact with you and
Yes.
have dangerous parasocial relationships with you in
All
their
day.
minds.
I mean, you can find me in any various Chinese food restaurant spot on Fulton. Or, you know, on the gram, Bandit_Light7.
Too bad you can't order H4 on the gram. Imagine. That's what they need.
I mean, well, you know what I'm saying? We have a certain project that may incorporate that. Once again, shout out to Brother Scrams.
Brother Scrams, who I hope to have back. Stay tuned for his return.
Him and maybe another one or two new correspondents.
Oh, that'd be nice. But definitely Scrams. I'm sure he will have a lot to say.
Well, yeah, we need his definitely the Laker view.
I guess we'll have to edit out that first few minutes of him just kind of openly weeping on on the mic before he can like get it together to really give us some analysis.
I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be weeping as opposed to just straight like maybe like a half an hour of nothing but straight explicit.
Yeah, expletives.
You know,
and the sound of his the mic hitting his forehead over and over again.
Yeah. I don't know. We may get a real somber Scrams. Well, you know,
We'll see, or maybe optimistic again. Like it's not the worst. It was a good run for a puzzle piece team. There's some things. There's some bright lights there.
Actually, not from the last time I conversed with him. I doubt that.
Oh no, that's what we call what's that, foreshadowing? That's some excellent foreshadowing right there.
It ain't the worst, but I would like optimism isn't some way I would describe that. Let's just say that.
Word. Cool. That means I'll be somehow the optimistic one for a team I've hated for years, which is fine. That I'm used to that role. You can find me if you want to interact with me, but you know I'm out here for cat videos at this point and memes and highlights from other people's news feed, credible journalists who make money off this. You know how it goes. At Shining Brizard on Twitter. Feel free to send me your hatred and your vitriol. And links to, MILF pornography, man. Shout out to Corey Chase.
Yes. Sarah J.
Heather Hunter, even though she's retired.
All the classics.
All the classics.
Well, I mean, this is the year of the GOAT, so
we should pay our respects. Shout out to the throat goats.
You know what I'm saying?
But we'll see you soon, niggas. Until then, it's been the Triple P, guys, gals, non-binary pals,
and the Scallywops.
especially them. Oh, and the Schmizmars. Oh, can't forget them. Never the Schmizmars, man.
Nah. He's about to start a fucking intergalactic war right there.
Oh yeah, it would have been over. The show would have been canceled, but we averted disaster. Until next time.